Hey, what's up, you guys? It is Todd. Welcome back to the Todd channel. Welcome to part 2 of this video. If you guys are not here from part 1 and you're just clicking on this video, make sure you guys go watch part 1 where I talked about how season 9 of The Walking Dead and what direction they probably should be going with the show. And I kind of segued into this, which is the bigger news report that Scott Gimple has been replaced as the showrunner of The Walking Dead, which was replaced by Angela Kang, who has been writing for The Walking Dead for a while. I believe her position in the company was a lot lower than Scott Gimple. And she got promoted to showrunner, which is a good thing. A lot of people know the showrunner. You know, they really control what go. I mean, I don't even know if showrunner is actually a real title or if that's just something that they renamed. I feel like showrunner really isn't a thing. That's just kind of a name title. But she got promoted to showrunner, which means she's basically controlling, you know, what goes on with the show, all that kind of stuff. She's basically like supervisor. She supervises the show, you know, everything that happens has to go through her, all that kind of stuff. So that's good for her. Also, she produced one of three of the best episodes of The Walking Dead, which was the finale of season 4, the third episode of season 5, which was infamous for that scene where Rick just straight up slaughtered Gareth, and the finale of season 5. So right then and there, well, not the midst of finale of season 5. So right then and there, she has a great reputation in The Walking Dead. I don't know anyone in this community who actually does not like Angela Kang. I'm a fan of hers. You know, a lot of people, they don't like Scott Gimple. I, for one, am not too big a fan of his and what he's done to the show. So, you know, anything in the foreseeable future after Season 8, because Season 8's already done, already made, so anything that happens for the rest of the season, The Walking Dead, you can't blame her because that was all supervised and officiated by Scott Gimple. So whatever train wreck of the season might be left season 8, that's all Scott Gimple. Season 9, that's all Angela Kang. So whatever we get in season 9, hopefully it's great, but if it's bad, we're going to blame her. And we're just going to be like, there's no hope for The Walking Dead at this point. So everyone's jumping like, yay, Scott Gimple's out, finally. Well, guys, you can't be too happy because Scott Gimple did not get fired from his job. Scott Gimple is not completely rid of The Walking Dead. Actually, I think some of you should actually be kind of afraid if you don't like Scott Gimple because he got promoted. Yes, Scott Gimple did not get fired. Like, you know, all the petitions wanted him to, which, you know, that's kind of BS. I don't think anyone ever got fired over just a petition to get someone fired because, oh, he killed Carl. Like, come on, guys. If you want to get him fired, you got to bring up more reports that he killed your favorite character. But anyway, he got promoted. Not to like, you know, oh, executive producer, because he basically already is the executive producer of The Walking Dead. That's basically what showrunner is. But he got promoted to a much bigger position, a CCO. Now, everyone knows when you hear 2 C's, that automatically means, oh, he's chief. That's a pretty high rank. That's like past managerial position, Walking Dead. So what CCO is Chief Content Officer. Chief Content Officer, everyone knows, whenever you're a chief officer, that's a really big position in a company. You're overseeing basically in a regular job, you have your employees, your supervisors, your managers, and then you have the district manager, all that other kind of stuff. So basically, Scott Gimple was basically, in a sense, the supervisor of The Walking Dead because he had people who were above him. He overseed the show. There were people, there's your editors, there's your writers, all that kind of stuff. He overseed all that stuff because he was the showrunner. Angela Kang is now basically the supervisor for The Walking Dead. But now that Scott Gimple got promoted to CCO, Scott Gimple is basically the manager of The Walking Dead. Which means that whatever Angela Kang does, who does she report to? She reports to him. So Scott Gimple is not completely out of the picture of The Walking Dead. Whatever Angela Kang does, if he doesn't approve of it, she can't do it. So if she wants to kill off Negan, and he doesn't want to kill off Negan, then it's not going to happen. She has to rethink her whole entire process because that's not what he wants. So the notion that Scott Gimple's out of the picture, that is not at all true. He's still there. He's still very much present. But if you don't like Scott Gimple, it's going to make it even worse for you. Because he's not Chief Content Officer of The Walking Dead show. He's Chief Content Officer of The Walking Dead brand. He's chief content officer of all of that shit. Now, I'm not sitting here to tell you he owns The Walking Dead, because that's not what I'm saying. He does report to the president of the show. He does report to, the Pig Kahuna, that's basically CEO, all that other kind of stuff. He does report to somebody. Everyone has to report to somebody unless you're the number one officer in the show. He does have to report to somebody, which is basically his higher ups. When your boss comes to work and he's doing his job, but then one day your boss is very giddy and happy, and he gets giddy and happy, and then the next second he's frantically going all over the place. He's telling people what to do. He's yelling and screaming, and then one guy comes in and he's kissing his ass really, really hard, and you see your boss just completely out of his realm of just everything he says and does. That's basically because the big dog just came in, like the chief officer or president or the person above your boss just came in. That's basically Scott Gimple. Scott Gimple is overseeing The Walking Dead. Now this is a scary thing, because Scott Gimple could basically, he can alter what happens in the video game. He already alters what happens in the show. It's just to a bigger standard now. But all the other arcing, branching stuff, he can oversee all that stuff and change it up. And that's kind of a scary thing, because if you don't like Scott Gimple and the way he runs the show, he might change what happens to Clementine in the Walking Dead game. And that scares me, because I love the Walking Dead video game. Now, the game's coming to an end soon. This year, I believe, is the final season of the Walking Dead video game. I'm not sure if they already know what direction they want to go in with the game. They probably should by this point. If the game's coming out this year, they should already know what the end game is. And they already probably started production for the game. But Scott Gimple could say, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like the way this is going. And he could be like, you know what? Change this. I don't like the way this is. And they're going to have to change it. The writer, yes, Robert Kirkman is the founder of the Walking Dead comics. It doesn't mean he's in charge of everything that happens. He isn't the big boss of the Walking Dead branch. That's just the comics. But the writers could be going a certain way with it, and if Scott Gimple doesn't like that, then he's going to have to talk with Robert Kirkman, and that might change. The Fear the Walking Dead, anything Walking Dead related, is going to be overseen by Scott Gimple. And if you don't like him, you probably should be you shouldn't be happy. Don't jump with glee just yet. You didn't get him fired, you just got him promoted. I'm not saying that you guys got promoted, but obviously whatever he was doing, the higher ups thought he was doing a pretty damn good job. So everyone else thought he oh, you're a piece of shit, you don't know what you're doing, goodbye. And they're like, oh, great job for killing off Carl, here's a promotion. That's basically, I guess, what happened here. I'm not too high and crazy on it. I honestly didn't think Scott Gimple was that good as a showrunner, and now that he's the manager and Angela Kang is the new supervisor. Now, that's not to say that he's going to completely ruin everything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he's not out of the picture. Angela Kang, hoping for the best for her. This doesn't mean that he's going to change everything she says and does. I am sure he's going to give her a lot of leeway and a lot more things to run. So, if The Walking Dead does change, that's a good thing. It's going to be because of her. But I'm just saying, if she wants to do something and he doesn't like it, he can just tell her no, and she has to change plans. That's all I'm saying that's happening here. So yeah, that was the video. Tell me what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about Scott Gimple being the CCO of The Walking Dead? Do you think this is good because that means he doesn't completely, have the walk? Because this could be a good thing, because with CCO, you do have to focus on you can't just focus on the show. You have to focus on the game, you have to focus on a bunch of things. So maybe this could be a segue of him taking a lot of his responsibility off of the show, and he has to focus on everything else. So now Angela King might have a little bit more, stuff to do. It could go a bunch of ways. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. Comment down below. Let me know. Like this video and share it, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.